You walk into your bathroom, everything looks spotless. The sink shines, the floor smells fresh, the mirror is crystal clear. But the moment you lift that toilet lid, there it is, that ugly, stubborn brown ring staring back at you like it owns the bowl. You scrub, you pour cleaners, you try every viral hack, but nothing seems to erase it permanently. It keeps coming back, darker, thicker, more embarrassing. What if I told you that by the end of this video, that ring can be gone for good, without scrubbing, without expensive products, and using a simple $1 trick that millions of people are ignoring? Stay with me, because once you see this method and the powerful natural mix behind it, you'll never look at toilet stains the same way again. And after tonight, this problem may never return to your bathroom. Now imagine this. A homeowner in Ohio had a porcelain toilet that was over 18 years old. Hard water, mineral buildup, and years of neglect had created a thick brown ring that looked permanently etched into the bowl. They tried bleach tablets, pumice stones, expensive gel cleaners, even professional cleaning services. Nothing worked long term. The ring would fade for a day or two, then come back stronger. One night, after reading about a simple overnight soak method using natural ingredients that cost less than $1, they decided to try it. No scrubbing, no harsh chemicals, just a soaked strip of toilet paper placed strategically under the rim and along the stain line, left overnight. By morning, the ring that had survived nearly 2 decades was gone, completely gone. And that's exactly what we're diving into today, a deeply explained step-by-step breakdown of the $1 trick that removes brown toilet rings permanently, why it works, and how combining a few powerful natural cleaners creates a reaction that dissolves mineral buildup while you sleep. Brown toilet rings are usually caused by hard water minerals like iron and calcium. Over time, these minerals bond with bacteria and residue, forming a layer that normal cleaners can't penetrate. Scrubbing only removes the top layer. That's why the stain keeps returning. It's still embedded in the microscopic pores of the porcelain. The trick is not force. The trick is time, saturation, and the right combination of ingredients that slowly break down those minerals without damaging the surface. And the cheapest, most overlooked tool that makes this possible is simple toilet paper, not for wiping, but for holding the cleaning mixture directly against the stain long enough for it to dissolve completely. This is where most people go wrong. They pour cleaner into the bowl, watch it slide down, and assume it's working, but liquids run off quickly. They don't stay in contact with the ring long enough, so tonight we change that. Here's the core idea of the $1 trick. Instead of scrubbing, you're going to create a powerful natural solution using common household items: white vinegar, baking soda, a small amount of hydrogen peroxide, and a few drops of dish soap. Each of these does something specific. Vinegar dissolves mineral deposits, baking soda gently lifts stains and neutralizes odor, hydrogen peroxide breaks down organic discoloration and brightens porcelain. Dish soap helps the mixture cling and penetrate. When combined correctly, they create a slow-working but extremely effective cleaning reaction. Then comes the key move: soaking toilet paper in this mixture and pressing it directly onto the brown ring so it stays in place overnight. While you sleep, the solution doesn't run away. It sits there, fully saturated, slowly dissolving the stain layer by layer. But before we get to the exact mixing method, let's talk about why this approach works better than aggressive scrubbing. Porcelain may look smooth, but under a microscope, it has tiny pores. Hard water minerals lodge inside these pores. When you scrub, you're only hitting the surface. It's like wiping dust off a sponge. The deeper particles remain. Overnight saturation allows the acidic and oxidizing ingredients to seep into those pores and loosen the buildup from within. By morning, the bond between the stain and the porcelain weakens so much that it either rinses away completely or needs only the lightest wipe. No harsh brushing, no damage, just chemistry and patience doing the heavy lifting. Now picture this step by step. Late evening, your bathroom is quiet. You look at that brown ring and think, tonight is the last night you exist. First, flush the toilet and lower the water level slightly so the ring area is exposed. You can do this by turning off the water valve and flushing once, or simply pushing water down with a toilet brush so the stain line is not submerged. Next, in a small bowl, pour 1 cup of white vinegar. Add 2 tablespoons of baking soda, slowly, let it fizz, then add a few tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide. Finally, add a few drops of dish soap. Stir gently. You'll notice a slightly foamy, active mixture. That's exactly what you want. Take strips of toilet paper and dip them fully into this mixture until they're soaked. Then press the soaked toilet paper directly onto the brown ring, covering it completely. Under the rim, along the stain line, anywhere you see discoloration. Smooth it so it sticks. The toilet paper acts like a delivery system, holding the cleaner exactly where it needs to be. Once everything is covered, pour a small amount of the remaining mixture over the paper to keep it saturated. Then walk away. Close the lid, leave it overnight. This is the part where most people underestimate the power of time. 8 hours of continuous contact can do what 30 minutes of scrubbing never will. While you sleep, the vinegar dissolves mineral deposits. The baking soda gently lifts and softens. The hydrogen peroxide breaks down organic staining. The dish soap helps the mixture cling and penetrate deeper. Together, they form a slow-release cleaning pack that works far better than any quick scrub. By morning, when you lift the lid, you may already notice the difference. The paper might look brown from absorbed residue. Flush once, and in many cases, the ring disappears instantly. If any faint trace remains, a light wipe with a brush will remove it effortlessly. No elbow grease, no harsh chemicals, just a $1 method that feels almost too simple to be real. Now here's where we go deeper, because the real secret isn't just the overnight soak, it's consistency and prevention. Many people remove the ring once, but don't change the conditions that caused it. Hard water minerals will return if nothing stops them. So after using the overnight method, you can maintain a clean bowl by doing a mini soak once a week with just vinegar-soaked paper for 30 minutes. This prevents buildup from ever reaching that thick brown stage again. Another powerful tip is to pour a cup of vinegar into the tank once a month and let it sit for an hour before flushing. This cleans internal parts and reduces mineral flow into the bowl. Back to the Ohio homeowner. After using this method, they didn't just see a clean toilet. They saw a porcelain surface that looked years younger. The ring that had resisted everything was gone, and it stayed gone because they began doing small maintenance soaks weekly. Their bathroom felt cleaner, fresher, and less stressful to maintain. That's the hidden benefit of this trick. It's not just about removing a stain. It's about breaking the cycle of constant scrubbing and frustration. Once you understand how minerals bond and how to dissolve them slowly, you stop fighting your toilet and start working smarter. And here's something most people never realize. Many expensive cleaners rely on strong acids that work quickly but don't stay in contact long enough to fully dissolve deep stains. They fade the ring temporarily but don't remove it at the root. That's why it comes back. The overnight paper method flips that logic. Instead of stronger chemicals for shorter time, you use gentler ingredients for longer time. The result is deeper cleaning with less damage. It's safer for porcelain, safer for plumbing, and far cheaper. In fact, the total cost of the mixture you're using is often less than a single dollar per treatment. As you continue watching this series, we're going to explore even more powerful variations of this method, different natural combinations for different types of stains, faster emergency versions for last-minute cleaning, preventive hacks that keep rings from forming at all, and real-life stories from homeowners who thought their toilets were beyond saving until they tried this exact trick. Each part builds on the last, so by the end, you'll not only know how to remove brown toilet rings permanently, you'll know how to keep your porcelain looking brand new for years. So tonight, when you finish watching, you might walk into your bathroom one more time and look at that ring differently, not as a stubborn enemy, but as a problem with a simple solution, a $1 solution, one that works quietly while you sleep. And in the next part, we're going to go even deeper into the science behind each ingredient, the exact ratios for maximum power, and a few advanced hacks that make this method work even faster on extremely old stains. Because once you understand the full system behind this trick, you'll never go back to scrubbing again. Now let's go deeper into the method and the psychology behind why this simple overnight trick feels almost unbelievable the first time you try it. Most people assume that if a brown toilet ring has been sitting there for months or even years, it must require aggressive scrubbing or strong chemical cleaners to remove it. That assumption is exactly why so many homeowners keep struggling with the same stain over and over again. The truth is that brown rings are not just surface dirt. They are layers of mineral deposits, mainly iron and calcium from hard water, that slowly attach themselves to the microscopic texture of the porcelain. Every flush leaves behind tiny traces. Every day, those traces build. Eventually, they form a visible ring that looks permanent. But here's the part that changes everything. Mineral buildup doesn't need force to be removed. It needs saturation and time. Once you understand that, the entire cleaning strategy shifts from scrubbing to soaking, from effort to patience, from frustration to control. In the United States, hard water is one of the most common causes of toilet rings, especially in states like Texas, Ohio, Michigan, and parts of California. A couple living in Phoenix, Arizona, shared a story that perfectly shows how powerful this overnight method can be. Their home had extremely hard water, and the guest bathroom toilet developed a dark brown ring that embarrassed them whenever visitors came over. They tried every product at the grocery store. They even used a pumice stone, which removed part of the stain but also left faint scratch marks on the porcelain. The ring returned within weeks, darker than before. One evening, after seeing a simple method involving vinegar, baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, and soaked toilet paper placed along the ring overnight, they decided to try it. They were skeptical, it felt too easy, but they followed the steps carefully, making sure the soaked toilet paper was pressed tightly against the ring so the solution wouldn't slide down. They left it overnight and didn't think about it again until morning. When they lifted the lid, they expected maybe a slight improvement. Instead, the ring had almost completely disappeared. One flush removed the remaining residue. For the first time in years, the porcelain looked evenly white. They repeated a lighter version of the method once a week for maintenance, and the ring never returned. What made that result possible wasn't magic. It was the chemistry of the ingredients working together for a long period without interruption. Vinegar is mildly acidic, which allows it to break down mineral deposits slowly. Baking soda creates a gentle reaction that helps lift grime while also deodorizing. Hydrogen peroxide acts as an oxidizer, breaking apart organic material and discoloration. Dish soap reduces surface tension, allowing the mixture to spread evenly and cling to vertical surfaces like the inner bowl. When you soak toilet paper in this mixture and press it onto the stain, you're essentially creating a slow-release cleaning patch that holds the active ingredients exactly where they need to be. Instead of sliding into the water, the solution stays locked against the ring, penetrating deeper hour after hour. That's the key difference between this method and pouring cleaner directly into the bowl. Time and contact are everything. As you prepare to try this method yourself, imagine the sequence in real time. It's late evening, the house is quiet. You decide that tonight is the night you finally deal with that ring permanently. You flush once and lower the water level slightly so the stain line is exposed. You mix your solution carefully. 1 cup of white vinegar into a bowl, 2 tablespoons of baking soda sprinkled in slowly to avoid overflow, a few tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide added gently, and a few drops of dish soap stirred in last. The mixture fizzes softly, creating a light foam. That foam is a sign the ingredients are activating. You tear off strips of toilet paper and dip them into the mixture until they're fully soaked but not falling apart. Then you press them directly onto the brown ring, starting from one side and working your way around the bowl. You smooth each strip so it sticks firmly. Under the rim, along the stain line, anywhere you see discoloration, you place another strip. When the entire ring is covered, you pour a little extra mixture over the paper to keep it saturated. Then you close the lid and walk away. This is the moment where most people feel uncertain. It looks too simple. It feels like nothing dramatic is happening. But inside the bowl, the process has already begun. The vinegar starts dissolving mineral layers. The baking soda helps loosen and lift. The hydrogen peroxide begins breaking down discoloration. The dish soap keeps everything in contact with the surface. Over the next 8 hours, these ingredients slowly weaken the bond between the stain and the porcelain. By morning, the ring is no longer embedded. It's softened, loosened, ready to disappear with a single flush or a light wipe. When you lift the lid and see the difference, it feels like a reveal moment, the kind of reveal that makes you wonder why you ever spent money on expensive cleaners or wasted time scrubbing. But this video isn't just about removing one ring once, it's about making sure it never comes back. After you remove the ring with the overnight method, the porcelain is clean and open again. That's the perfect time to start simple prevention habits that keep minerals from building up in the first place. One of the easiest maintenance tricks is a weekly vinegar soak. Once a week before bed, pour a cup of vinegar around the bowl and place a few small strips of vinegar-soaked toilet paper along the area where rings usually form. Leave it for 30 minutes or overnight if you want maximum effect. This prevents minerals from attaching deeply. Another powerful tip is to add half a cup of vinegar to the toilet tank once a month. Let it sit for an hour, then flush. This cleans internal parts and reduces mineral flow into the bowl. Over time, these small habits keep your toilet looking new with almost no effort. There's also a psychological shift that happens when you realize you don't have to fight stains with force. Cleaning becomes less stressful. Instead of dreading the sight of a brown ring, you know exactly how to handle it. You know that even if a ring appears, it can be removed overnight without scrubbing. That confidence changes how you maintain your bathroom. It turns a frustrating chore into a simple routine. And when guests visit, you're not worried about what they'll see when they lift the lid. You know the bowl is clean, bright, and under control. Another important detail is timing. Many people try natural cleaners but give up too quickly. They apply the mixture, wait 10 minutes, scrub, and assume it doesn't work. This method is different because it relies on extended contact. Overnight is ideal because it gives the ingredients enough time to penetrate fully. If a ring is extremely old or thick, you can repeat the process for a second night. Each overnight soak removes another layer until the stain is completely gone. Even toilets that are 15 or 20 years old can look dramatically better after 2 or 3 treatments. The key is patience and consistency, not strength. You may also notice that after removing the ring, your bathroom feels fresher overall. That's because mineral buildup often traps bacteria and odor. When you dissolve the minerals, you remove the surface those odors cling to. The result is a cleaner smell, without heavy fragrances or harsh chemicals. It's a subtle but noticeable difference, one that makes your bathroom feel more comfortable and more hygienic every day. As we continue, you'll see even more variations of this $1 trick. Some combinations work faster for iron-heavy stains. Others are better for yellow or orange discoloration. There are emergency versions you can do in 30 minutes when guests are coming over. There are preventative routines that take less than a minute a week. And there are real-life stories from across the United States showing how people with the worst stains turned their toilets around using nothing more than simple household ingredients and a little patience. Each part connects to the last, building a complete system that keeps your toilet ring-free permanently. So, as you think about what you'll do tonight, picture the moment tomorrow morning when you lift the lid and see a clean, white bowl staring back at you. No brown ring, no scrubbing marks, no harsh chemical smell. Just a smooth porcelain surface that looks refreshed and new. That moment is what this entire method is about. And in the next part, we're going to break down advanced mixing ratios, faster-acting versions for extreme stains, and a few surprising household ingredients that can boost the power of this overnight soak even further. Because once you master this technique, there's almost no toilet ring that can survive it. As the night passes and that soaked layer of solution quietly does its work, something important is happening that most people never think about. Deep inside the microscopic texture of the porcelain, the minerals that formed that stubborn brown ring are slowly losing their grip. Hour by hour, the acidity of the vinegar breaks down calcium and iron deposits. The hydrogen peroxide lifts organic discoloration, and the baking soda gently loosens the residue that once seemed permanently fused to the bowl. The toilet paper you placed there is no longer just paper. It's acting like a powerful overnight cleaning patch, holding the mixture in place so nothing slides away, nothing evaporates too quickly, nothing gets diluted. It just sits there, fully focused on that one ugly ring that used to control how you felt about your bathroom. And this is the exact moment where this method becomes more than just a hack. It becomes a system. Because once you've seen a stain disappear without scrubbing, once you've watched years of buildup dissolve while you slept, you start to realize that most cleaning problems aren't about effort, they're about strategy. Morning arrives. You walk into the bathroom, maybe not even expecting much. You lift the lid slowly. The paper that was pressed along the ring might look darker now, stained from everything it pulled out of the porcelain overnight. You flush. The paper swirls away, and suddenly the bowl looks different, brighter, even, clean in a way that doesn't look temporary. For many people, this is the moment they pause and stare, because that ring that survived months, maybe years, is simply gone. Not faded, not hidden, gone. And if there's even the faintest shadow left, a single light pass with a brush removes it effortlessly because the bond is already broken. That's the power of saturation and time. That's the power of a $1 trick done the right way. But here's where the final and most important part begins. Removing the ring once is satisfying. Keeping it from ever coming back, that's what makes this method life-changing. Now that your porcelain is clean again, you're working with a fresh surface. Minerals haven't had time to reattach deeply yet. This is your window to switch from heavy cleaning to easy maintenance. And the maintenance routine is almost effortless. Once a week, before bed, pour a small amount of white vinegar around the bowl and place a few short strips of vinegar-soaked toilet paper right where rings usually form. Leave it for 20 to 30 minutes, or overnight if you want maximum prevention. That simple step keeps minerals from bonding. It stops buildup before it even becomes visible. Another powerful habit is a monthly tank refresh. Pour half a cup of vinegar into the tank, let it sit for about an hour, then flush. This helps reduce mineral flow into the bowl and keeps internal parts cleaner, which means fewer stains forming below. A homeowner in Michigan once described this shift perfectly. For years, they treated their toilet like a constant battle, scrubbing, buying new cleaners, feeling frustrated every time the ring came back. Then they discovered the overnight soak method and used it just once. The ring vanished. But instead of waiting for it to return, they began doing a simple weekly vinegar paper soak for prevention. Months passed, no ring. A full year passed, still no ring. The toilet that once embarrassed them when guests visited became something they didn't even think about anymore. That's the real transformation here. Not just a cleaner bowl, but a calmer routine. Cleaning stops being stressful. It becomes automatic, almost invisible. There's also a deeper reason this method works so well over time. Harsh chemical cleaners often strip and fade stains quickly, but don't fully dissolve the mineral layer underneath. That means the ring returns faster and sometimes darker. Repeated scrubbing can even roughen the porcelain slightly, giving minerals more surface area to cling to. The overnight natural mix does the opposite. It dissolves slowly, gently, completely. It preserves the smoothness of the porcelain, so future buildup has less to grab onto. Over weeks and months, your toilet actually becomes easier to keep clean, not harder. And all of this happens without expensive products, without inhaling strong fumes, without wearing yourself out scrubbing every few days. As you continue using this system, you may start to notice something interesting. Other areas of your bathroom begin to feel easier to maintain too. The mindset changes. Instead of reacting to stains after they become visible, you prevent them quietly before they ever appear. A quick vinegar wipe here, a short soak there. Small actions that take almost no time but save you from big cleaning sessions later. That's how the best home routines work, not through bursts of effort, but through small, smart habits repeated consistently. Now imagine this scenario a few weeks from today. A guest walks into your bathroom. They lift the lid. They see a bright, clean bowl with no trace of the ring that used to live there. They don't know what it looked like before. They don't know about the frustration you used to feel. They just see a clean, fresh space, and you know that keeping it that way is no longer difficult. You know that if a faint ring ever tries to form again, you already have the solution. You already know exactly what to do. A $1 mix, a few strips of paper, one quiet night. Problem solved. This is where the story of this trick really ends, not with the removal of a stain, but with the removal of a routine that never worked. No more endless scrubbing, no more buying product after product hoping one will finally be strong enough, no more lifting the lid and feeling annoyed or embarrassed. Instead, you have a method that works with time, not against it. A method that costs almost nothing, a method that turns one of the most stubborn household problems into something simple and predictable. And if you've watched this far, you already know something most people don't. The difference between a temporary fix and a permanent solution is patience and placement, holding the cleaner exactly where it needs to be, long enough for it to work fully. That's the secret behind this entire system, and once you understand it, you can apply the same idea to other cleaning problems around your home. Slow, steady, targeted cleaning that works while you rest. So tonight, when you walk into your bathroom and lift that lid one more time, remember this moment. Remember that the brown ring you see isn't permanent. It isn't stronger than you. It isn't something you have to fight every week. You now have the method, the mix, and the strategy to remove it completely and keep it from ever coming back. One simple overnight trick, less than $1. No scrubbing, no stress. If this video helped you see cleaning in a smarter way, stay with this channel because we're just getting started. There are more hidden tricks, more powerful natural mixes, and more real-life transformations coming your way. Make sure you don't miss them. And tonight, let that mixture soak, let time do the work, and get ready for the moment tomorrow morning when you lift the lid and see a bowl that looks brand new.